Okay, so this is a tic-tac-toe program project, and it's quite lengthy, so I'm going to spread it out this whole week. So there'll be parts 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you have you know, um, the Friday to also do it if you want. So it'll be due on Friday. So here's the program we're making. You all know how to play tic-tac-toe, hopefully. And here's our board. So what I have here, kind of like the Shark game, I have an array of labels, and they're index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 9 labels, and you're going to see how I create them and place them on the board and everything, kind of like we did on. All right, so you're going to learn how to do that, and then you're also going to learn a new component, right? Which is a drop-down menu. This guy right here. So to play the game, you're going to actually right-click on a square to start, right? So if I want to start, depending on if you're X or O, I'm going to choose what I want in there. So if I choose X, then the next person goes and they choose O. X, O, and I'll just show you what happens when you win. Right? So when someone wins, it outputs a message box saying O wins. And I click OK. When I click OK, right, all these become disabled. So I can't click on it again. So the game ends and I can play again. So if I play again, I'll show you what happens when no one wins, and then we'll start writing the program. So let me go through and just put a bunch of X's and O's. So if no one wins, right, it outputs a message box, no winner. I click OK, everything's disabled, and you can only hit play again. So that is the program. So to start on your form, you're going to just want to label here, right, and make the form about the same size as this, and a button, and something called a context menu strip, right? Now, where do you get that? That's over here in your context menu strip right here in your toolbox, and just drag that over to your form, and it'll go down in this tray, just like a timer did. So you just need one of those. And then you can start your programming. So what you're going to do, you're going to double click on the form, and you're going to get into the form 1 load event right here, right? So you're not going to see all this code. You're just going to see this followed by n sub. The first thing you're going to want to do is make a form level variable, and that form level variable is going to be an array of labels of 9 of them. Remember, if you have 9 labels, we put 8 in here, and I'm going to call it board. And those are going to be my places where I put the X's and the O's. So inside, and I'm not going to write the code as I go. I'm just going to have the code there, and it might be easier for you guys to write this. So the first thing we're going to do in part 1, we're just going to set up our array. And I need an integer. I'm going to call that I. And then I'm going to set up the array for I is 0 to 8, right? There's 9 labels in this board array, the index 0 to 8. So for each one, remember I is going to go from 0 to 8. I'm going to create a new label. I'm going to create a new point location for it starting at 0, 0. The box, right, is going to be a square. That's a 50 by 50 pixel square, right? Each white box. And then I'm going to make the back color white, and the fore color I'm going to make black. Now, with the Shark game, we had the letters in there already, and so we don't have the X's and O's in there yet because we don't know what's going to be in there. So we can make the fore color black to start because you're not going to see it. Then I set the font, the size, the text in there. I'm going to set to an empty string, so there's no X or 0. It's just a blank. I'm going to text align. There's a text alignment. That's something you haven't seen before. And then I'm going to add the label to the context menu strip. Now what that does is, let me show you. Here's our context menu strip, right? And I think we don't even need this context menu strip because I think in the middle of creating this, I created this probably last year or the year before. I think what I did was change it to a moving X and menu strip and 0 and O menu strip rather, which you'll see here in a second. So I think we set this up and didn't even use it. How we were supposed to do it was that we clicked on the label where we want to put the X or the O, and then we went up to that and we chose the X or the O from there and it would show. But I think I made it so we right clicked on the label, and hold on, my dog is growling at something. Hold on. And then I end up changing it. So let's just continue from there. So just disregard this context menu strip. So just type what's in here. And so that's that. I set up each label in the array. So that's going to be part 1. Well, you know, let's do the locations and add them. That way will be set for the game. So we want to set the location of each label. There it is there. I won't go through that. Right. Now I'll just tell you the first label, what it is. Remember, each component where it's located on the form is specified by its top left location. So board, the first label, index 0, its top and left positions is both going to be 50-50. Right? So if I run the game, this point right here is 50 down and 50 over pixels. Right? And we do that for each label. Now, that's all good, but it doesn't actually add the labels to the board. So I want to have another for loop here, I going from 0 to 8, and this will actually add the labels to that form. And then there's the end of that form 1 load subprocedure. So that's part 1. Tomorrow we'll get into the tool strips. And again, that context menu, I think I changed it to these tool strips. I think it was a little easier to actually play the game, to right click on a board and pick the X or the O. So that's part 1, and tomorrow we'll do part 2.